Welcome back everyone. In today's session, I'm going to discuss 10 very important questions and answers from Macbeth Act 2 Scene 3 strictly in accordance with the latest updated ISC 2024 specimen question pattern. Long answer questions का word limit जो है 200 to 250 words और short answer questions का word limit है 100 to 150 words. So until further notification, we are going to follow this pattern. This is a one-shot video, workbook solutions. Stay with me and you will be exam ready. Come on. Question 1. Explain why the body of Duncan is referred as the Lord's anointed temple. Very important quotation. Learn this quotation. What was the belief of the Elizabethan period regarding the divine right of kings? A new concept. In my line-by-line explanation video, I had explained this concept. What is the introductory statement? Let's read. Upon discovering the regicide क्या है? हम सब जानते हैं. Upon discovering the regicide in Act 2 Scene 3 of Macbeth, Macduff cries out in pain. Critical comment. Look how I have used critical comment. I have mentioned the reaction of Macduff. Very briefly, Macduff cries out in pain that most sacrilegious murder has cut open the Lord's anointed temple. Question में भी ये कोटेशन है और इंट्रोडक्टरी स्टेटमेंट में मैंने इस कोटेशन को यूज किया है. इन दिस वे आई हैव रिलेटेड द क्वेश्चन एंड द आंसर डायरेक्टली राइट एट द बिगिनिंग. नाउ द एक्सप्लेनेशन. क्वेश्चन में क्या था? एक्सप्लेन करना है हमें. एक्सप्लेनेशन क्या है? हियर ही इज यूजिंग अ कॉमन बिब्लिकल मेटाफर. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Comparing the body to a temple. This is the explanation. Since kings were believed to be God's chosen representative on earth, Duncan's body is described as an anointed temple, holy Duncan, because he is the chosen representative of God on earth. ये है the divine right of kings. We will discuss this also in this answer a little later. At the coronation ceremony, राज्याभिषेक के समय पे Christian kings को क्या किया जाता था? Christian kings were anointed with holy oil. So, a sacred ceremony, a sacred procedure. The most profane hands of a murderer has entered into the temple of Duncan's body and stolen its contents. Contents क्या है? Duncan's life. जो मर्डरर है डंकन के पवित्र शरीर में घुस के has stolen away his life, and the life of the body of the king is compared to the temple. Hence the metaphor. Macduff is aghast at this atrocity. Dear students, 2 new words and I have shared with you the meaning. Look, it's there on the screen. Just go through the meanings and try to use these new terms in your answer. Macduff is aghast, horrified, shocked at this atrocity, this cruelty, this physical violence. Reveals his loyalty by paying homage to Duncan. जब Macduff Duncan के जो शरीर है उसे लॉर्ड्स एनोइंटेड टेम्पल कह के डिस्क्राइब कर रहे हैं, वो क्या कर रहे हैं? ही इज एक्चुअली पेइंग होमेज, ही इज एक्चुअली पेइंग अ ट्रिब्यूट एंड दिस शोज हिज लॉयल्टी. ही इज फेथफुल टू किंग डंकन. This is the explanation, a compact explanation why the body of Duncan is referred to as the Lord's anointed temple. Now, what is the meaning of the divine right of kings? The divine right of kings asserts that a monarch is subject to no earthly authority, deriving his right to rule directly. Word directly is important from the will of God. भगवान चाहते हैं और इसीलिए भगवान ने किसे भेजा है? किंग, राजा को भेजा है. So no earthly authority can control or command a monarch. This doctrine implies that regicide, very very important, this doctrine implies that regicide is a sin. इसीलिए regicide sin है. And Macduff is aghast. He is filled with disgust. Macduff thus uses the very terms of it, divine right of kings. तो यहाँ पे Lord's Anointed Temple is associated with this concept of divine right of kings. I'm sure I have made myself clear, and notice I have used 145 words, so well within the range, well within the word limit. Quickly moving on to question number 2, and question number 2 में मैंने 135 words में आंसर मैंने लिखा है. ये आंसर जो है क्वेश्चन 2 क्या है? Referring closely to Act 2 of Macbeth, what is meant by sacrilegious murder? This question is taken from your Morning Star workbook. Why is the murder of Duncan said to be sacrilegious? Another important section. First and second questions are more or less related, but the framing, the explanation is going to be a bit different. So I have discussed everything. 100 to 150 words once again, matlab 5 marks. Upon discovering the regicide in Act 2 scene, it's 3 of Macbeth, Macduff cries out in pain, the most sacrilegious murder has broke up the sacred body of King Duncan. तो ये कोटेशन इंट्रोडक्टरी स्टेटमेंट में मैंने फिर एक कोटेशन यूज किया है जो क्वेश्चन में है, वही इंट्रोडक्टरी स्टेटमेंट में भी मेंशन है. सो यू हैव टू बी रियली टू द पॉइंट. Sacrilegious murder has broke up the sacred body of King Duncan. In question 1, the highlight, our focus was on Lord's Anointed Temple, and now our focus is on why is it sacrilegious murder. The word sacrilegious, this is the question, specific question. The word sacrilegious means impious. Very important. Learn this. The force of the word is twofold. You can interpret it in two ways. पहला क्या है? Regicide was a sin, and sacrilege was, in law, in legal terms, the felonious, that is, criminal taking of any goods out of any parish church or other church or chapel. So, in legal terms, this is the meaning of sacrilege, and regicide was also a sin. Therefore, this deed is impious. Murder is impious, unholy. And now, why is the murder? Change paragraph. Why is the murder of Duncan said to be sacrilegious? Specific explanation क्या है? Lord's Anointed Temple, divine right of kingship, और ये sacrilegious क्यों है? More or less related. Here, not only the king is murdered, but also his life is taken out of his sacred body. See, associated. The expression sacrilegious murder reveals Macduff's disgust, a critical comment. Don't forget to use critical comments in your answers, be it SAQs or LAQs. और textual reference भी important है. Aghast at the atrocity, same reference material but framing is different. Aghast at the atrocity, he refers to the divine right of kings to describe the ghastly nature. Now, again, another new word, ghastly, and I have shared with you the meaning as well. Learn this new term, and let's now see what I have written to describe the ghastly nature of the crime. This doctrine implies that any attempt to depose or murder the king runs contrary to God's will, and hence it is sacrilegious. Kyun? Because the God is the chosen representative on earth, and if anybody tries to murder the king, then it is contrary to God's will, and hence is sacrilegious, hence is impious, unholy. 135 words and I'm done. Now, question number 3. Why does Macbeth kill the guards who were stationed outside King Duncan's room? 100 to 150 words. Some of these questions are also taken from a workbook, Armand's book. Okay? So, whatever workbook you have, whichever workbook is available in the market, try to practice from there. And before that, do follow our regular sessions. Now, why does Macbeth kill the guards? Very important once again, who was stationed outside King Duncan's room. 100 to 150 words. Same line से मैंने begin किया है, मगर जो framing of the answer, rest of the answer है, वो completely different है, depending on what the question is. Now, upon discovering the regicide, Macbeth kills the guards. See, this first few words are the same, but after that I have directly answered to the point. किसके बारे में ये question है? Killing the guards. Introductory statement में मैंने क्या लिखा है? Upon discovering the regicide, Macbeth kills the guards. It's so direct. Who was stationed outside King Duncan's room? तो ये तो introduction question से ही मैंने उठा लिया है. And this will impress the examiner. Be rest assured. This will show that you have not memorized this answer. You are framing the answer according to the question given. He repents for his fury and justifies himself. ये जो reasons question में मांगा गया है, why does? This is a kind of justification given by Macbeth, and in the introduction itself, I have used this critical comment. ये एक kind of justification है. Now, change paragraph. Always change paragraphs. Long answer question, short answer question में. A man cannot be wise amazed. Textual reference देखो. Temperate and furious. Loyal and neutral at the same time. सब कुछ book में ही है. मैंने सिर्फ frame किया है. Answer. The sight of the blood-stained corpse of King Duncan and his gashed stabs, gaping wounds fill Macbeth with uncontrollable grief and rage, anger. वो अपने आप को कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाए हैं. ये सेक्शन बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है and I have explained it with the help of quotations. His reason, the pauser, is outrun by his violent love, the intensity of his love for King Duncan, for the slain king. Slain what का क्या मतलब है? Slain, murdered. There he sees the murderers. एक तरफ King Duncan's gory, bloody body, and दूसरी तरफ वो क्या देखते हैं? There he sees the murderers steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. He is unable to refrain from punishing them. So, I'll just add one thing. Again, let me read. There he sees the murderers steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore, and just add and over here. And he is unable to refrain from punishing them. These reasons, critical comment, these reasons reveal Macbeth's falsehood, cunningness, hypocrisy. Use such terms. Critical comments में ये सबको help करने वाला है. These points and are artificial. He is transformed into a hardened criminal. He has killed the guards. Now the specific purpose भी मैंने critically analyze किया है. He has killed the guards to eliminate potential physical evidence against him, very important, and also put up a false show of his loyalty to the king. दिखाना है मैं कितना loyal हूँ. Thus reality varies from appearance. This is the concluding statement. Add a concluding statement. Don't end abruptly. And here is the answer. 149 words और मैंने and use किया, इसीलिए a perfect 150 worded answer. So, careful editing and thorough revision is the key to success. Read the text thoroughly. Quickly. Long answer question for the first time, 200 to 250 words. Who is the porter? Porter scene. Significance of the porter scene. और यहाँ पे मैंने सिर्फ porter's role को explain किया है. And I have discussed the significance of this scene in my line-by-line explanation video. So check that. And in the workbooks also you have ample reference materials. Let's see what I have written. Who is the porter? Porter कौन है? Porter is a minor character. Introduction ही कितना powerful है. Minor character, major character, protagonist नहीं है. Who appears in Act 2, Scene 3 of Macbeth. He is the gatekeeper of Macbeth's castle. Basic introduction, but to the point, according to the question. Very important. Just learn how to write like this. And then, what role does he play? Role kya hai? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll give you points. The scene begins with his incoherent ramblings as he has been awakened by a loud knocking at the gate of Macbeth's castle. His speech goes along with the knocking at the south entry in Act 2, Scene 2. Very important. In Act 2, Scene 2, we saw how Macbeth and Lady Macbeth heard knocking within. And this speech of the porter goes along with the knocking. The porter has answered the knocking. तो एक continuity यहाँ पे establish किया जा सकता है. It is necessary as a relief, number 2, to the surrounding horror. Very important. Number 3 क्या है? Gives time to Macbeth to get on his nightgown. Act 2, Scene 2 में हमने ये देखा था. Get on your nightgown. Lady Macbeth tells this to Macbeth. So this speech, the porter's character, the way he speaks, gives Macbeth the time to change his dress, get ready to receive his visitors. So this is number 4. He is a good example of Shakespeare's use of comic relief. Number 5 technique. His dark humor highlights, जो ये dark humor है, that highlights the sinister nature of the crime. Sinister, dangerous, ugly, hints at the chaos that will ensue. आगे क्या होने वाला है? कुछ अच्छा नहीं होने वाला है. Heightens the tragic effect of the following scenes. Number 8. So many ways in which this speech is important and the porter plays such a crucial role here. It is also a powerful piece of irony. It's number 9. Especially his fancy that he is the porter of hell. Very important. Point number 9. Macbeth's castle is hellish. Regicide a sin. Macbeth and Lady Macbeth are sinners. He imagines admitting a farmer, an equivocator and an English tailor. Informs Macduff that they kept drinking and merrymaking till the second cock. He provides some information about the state of affairs in the castle on the night of the murder. Next. So, here I'll just add number 10. He provides information, some more information. And number 11, he uses topical allusions, important, which help us in determining the exact date of his play. And then his reference to equivocation and treason hints at the deception, betrayal that is recurrent throughout the play. There is treason, and by using these terms, Shakespeare is just highlighting deception, betrayal that is recurrent throughout the play. He welcomes to hell various deceivers, and we recognize Macbeth as an absolute equivocator of the play. So this is point number 12. Very important, Macbeth. Absolute equivocator. The style and language are Shakespearean. Thus, the drunken porter's role is integral to the play. A simple conclusion, but the conclusion is there. Exactly 250 words. Now, moving on to question number 5. What is it? Who discovers the murder of King Duncan in Act 2, Scene 3 of Macbeth? What is the reaction of the characters to the discovery of the murder? Again, 100 to 150 words. Itne sare reactions, but we'll have to shorten and we will have to use our reference materials wisely. Briefly, हम एक reaction के बाद एक discuss करेंगे. Macduff discovers the regicide in Act 2, Scene 3 of Macbeth. Simple, direct answer. कौन है? Macbeth है. Sorry, Macduff है. And what is the reaction of the characters? Reaction क्या है? Filled with disbelief and despair. ये है reaction. Filled with disbelief and despair, Macduff exclaims, "Oh, horror, horror!" Aghast. Same reference material. At the atrocity. This is number 2. His reaction, immediate reaction. He urges, "Do not bid me speak." मैं इसके बारे में बता नहीं पाऊंगा, बात मैं नहीं करना चाहता. ये इतना घोड़ी है, ये इतना घासली है. He urges, "Do not speak, do not bid me speak," calls Banquo. और फिर क्या करते हैं? Calls Banquo, Malcolm, Donalbain to see the great doom's image. Another quotation. Lennox is taken aback. So this is the reaction of Lennox. Banquo, saddened. Banquo का क्या reaction है? Saddened. Wants Macduff to contradict. So here, contradict, within quotes, contradict. C-O-N, quote, himself, his rebuff. Rebuff का क्या मतलब है? Again, check, it's there. His rebuff, too cruel anywhere, suggests his suspicion. Later, they resolve to avenge treasonous malice. Now, it's time for me to focus on Macbeth. Macbeth's violent love for King Duncan overpowers reason, kills the chamberlains, but his repentance smacks of hypocrisy. Lady Macbeth feigns. मैकबेथ की तरह ही लेडी मैकबेथ भी प्रिटेंड कर रही थी, एक्टिंग कर रही थी. एंड देन शी फेंट्स. फर्स्ट हिंट ऑफ द कोलैप्स ऑफ हर ओवरस्ट्रेन्ड नर्व्स, एंड देन शी इज कैरिड आउट. After that, how do Malcolm and Donalbain react? Suspicious. Another reaction. Suspicious. Malcolm and Donalbain decide to shift away. Their strong sorrow is not ready to move to action. Finally, Macbeth's lamentation, "All is but toys. Renown and grace is dead." This lamentation shows his remorse, yet is hollow. So, hollow bhi hai and he is remorseful as well. Uncertainty, fear loom large, and the characters react accordingly. What is the significance of the decision of Malcolm and Donalbain to shift away? How does it relate to their reaction to the discovery of the regicide? This is a question. Donalbain suggests let's away. Malcolm will shift away to England, Donalbain Ireland. ये है इन लोगों का जो decision है वो. They will not be dainty of leave taking. Which ironically, this is a critical comment, puts upon them suspicion of the deed. Quotation from the text. It is most likely the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth. So, what will happen? Macbeth will become the new king. Their decision reveals that they are somewhat aware of the unfelt sorrow of Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. शायद इन लोगों को वो भाप चुके थे कैसे लेडी मैकबेथ और मैकबेथ ठीक नहीं बोल रहे हैं, सही बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. एंड there's daggers in men's smile expose treason, betrayal and deception, and perhaps both the sons, the king's two sons, were aware of this. Though their royal fathers murdered, time is not ripe. This is a reaction. How does this relate to their decision to shift away from here? Time is not right. वो क्यों भागेंगे? Time is not right for them to shed tears. Their royal fathers murdered. Their strong sorrow is not ready to move. Their separated fortune will keep them safe. So 1, 2 and 3. So very important, right? Like this. Logical coherence is important. Summing up, पूरा ही conclusion में मैंने use कर दिया है. This leads to the success of Macbeth's schemes, and the audience will perhaps eagerly wait for the re-entry rightful heirs later in the play. Hence, it is dramatically significant. Indeed, when there is no mercy left in the people around, it is probably justified to steal away. This is the conclusion and well within the range, the word limit. Clear? Now, question 7, 200 to 250 words. Differentiate. फिर से reaction वाला question, same points यहाँ वहाँ डाल के हमें एक differentiation करना है. How do Banquo and Macduff's reaction to murder differ from those of Lady Macbeth and Macbeth? हमने इन सारी चीजों को ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर लिया है, मगर हम डिफरेंशिएट कैसे करने वाले हैं, एंड दैट टू इन अ लॉन्ग आंसर 200 to 250 words. Upon discovering the regicide in Act 2, Scene 3 of Macbeth, Banquo and Macduff react differently from Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. Introductory statement directly related to the question. So specific, so direct. While the former, differentiation, use words like while, on the other hand. Understood? While the former express genuine grief, the latter are hypocritical. मतलब Lady Macbeth बहुत hypocritical है, full of hypocrisy. Reaction सब फिर से same body होने वाला है, मगर अब हम differentiate करेंगे. Filled with disbelief, shock, despair, Macduff cries out in pain, oh horror, horror, horror. ये जो quotation है बहुत common है. Learn such common quotations and use them. Aghast at the atrocity, देखो, he pleads, do not bid me. Banquo is heartbroken, but is inwardly suspicious of Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. He does not reveal this. वो किसी को बताते नहीं है directly, but his stern rebuff that this most bloody piece of work is too cruel anywhere. Very important. Rebuff का क्या मतलब है? Again, the meaning is there on the screen. Learn this new word and use it. Suggests his suspicion. He is practical enough to analyze how fears and scruples shake them. Quotation. He resolves to fight treasonous malice. Macduff's words, and so do I, prove their loyalty to the king. Both of them are loyal. यहीं पे difference है. On the other hand, Macbeth and Lady Macbeth pretend, they are pretentious, they are not faithful. So they are not faithful. Banquo, Macduff faithful, Macbeth, Lady Macbeth not faithful and pretentious. उन्हें पता ही नहीं है regicide commit हो गया है in their house. Such falsehood smacks of hypocrisy. Macbeth's words, all is but toys, renown and grace is dead. Important quotation, reveal his remorse. He is also filled with remorse. Yet, his words are artificial, hollow. वो बहुत आगे जा चुके हैं. The innocent Macbeth is gone, transformed into a hardened criminal. He kills. Transformed into a hardened criminal, he kills the chamberlains When he repents of my fury, he is conniving, manipulative. Conniving का क्या मतलब है? देखो, and learn. Another new term. It is his ploy. Again, new term. Learn these words. To eliminate physical evidence. तो वो remorseful तो है ही, मगर his actions are solely guided by the fact that he has to protect himself as well as Lady Macbeth. Physical evidence हटाना है and also appear faithful. Evidence भी हटाना है, elimination करना है और faithful भी दिखना है. His violent love, ये है reaction for Duncan shows his falsehood. Lady Macbeth feels unwell. Her fainting is perhaps the first hint of the collapse of her overstrained nerves. Critical comment important. She has said no word since Banquo's rebuff, but she is an accomplice, a perpetrator of the crime, and unfaithful to King Duncan. Very important. Macduff unfaithful नहीं है, वो faithful है. जो रिएक्शन है वो जेन्युइन है. यहाँ पे फेंटिंग शायद वो एक्टिंग नहीं कर रही थी, फेंट कर गई. बट आफ्टर ऑल शी इज एन accomplice. She has helped Macbeth. She is a perpetrator. She has planned, hatched the conspiracy, and she is also unfaithful to King Duncan. While there is love, conclusion, while there is love for King Duncan, there is betrayal and deception as well. Love versus betrayal and deception. एक differentiation answer. I hope this will help you. And 244 words. Perfect. Now, next question. Question 8. फिर से reaction. We will now focus on Macduff's reaction when he sees Duncan's dead body. In Act 2, Scene 3 of Macbeth, Macduff discovers a regicide, is filled with disbelief, despair, disgust. हम सब जानते हैं ये. अभी तक हमने जो देखा है, जो मैंने आंसर्स पढ़ा है, लिखा है, this concept is pretty clear. The reaction and reaction answers are important. Disbelief, you will have to write down. Despair, you will have to write down. And disgust as well. He is aghast at the atrocity and asks Lennox not to. The suddenness of the tragedy. अचानक से ये सब कुछ हो गया. अचानक किंग डंकन मर्डर हो गए, मर चुके हैं अब. The suddenness, जो झटका है. The suddenness of the tragedy makes him cry out in pain, "Oh, horror, horror, horror." He is too taken aback to describe how more sacrilegious murder has cut open the Lord's anointed temple. With a sense of urgency, सबको बुला रहा है. He calls, "Banquo, get up. Donalbain, get up. Malcolm, get up." To look on death itself and see the great doom's image. Important textual quotations. His emotional turmoil, एक उथल पुथल है मन में. Emotional turmoil makes him lament how murder and treason stole thence the life of the building. Again, he also hesitates to reveal this to Lady Macbeth, is unable to see through her pretense. He informs Malcolm, बहुत कुछ करना है. He informs Malcolm and Donalbain about it. Informs Malcolm Donalbain, questions Macbeth why he killed the Chamberlains. Finally, conclusion में मैंने क्या लिखा है? His resolve to fight treasonous malice along with Banquo shows his loyalty to and respect for King Duncan. 147 words. Just have a look. This is the conclusion. So same reference again and again, but the framing is different. In this way, learn to utilize the reference materials available. Referring closely to Act 2 of the play, another Morning Star question. What is equivocation? Equivocation क्या है? What allusion is referred to in the use of equivocation? This is Theory, plain theory, just go through it. In Act 2, Scene 3 of Macbeth, the porter fancies as if there is another applicant for admission to hell and he is an equivocator. What is the meaning of equivocation? This is the meaning. The doctrine of equivocation implies that a man may make a statement that would deceive others so long as he himself can interpret it truthfully, however fanciful or strained his own interpretation is. Learn the meaning of equivocation. This is the definition. And now the allusion. I have changed the paragraph. The reference is to Henry Garnet, superior to the Jesuits in England. The historical context, background. Allusion. The reference is to Henry Garnet, superior to the Jesuits in England, who was tried in March 1606 for complicity in the gunpowder plot of 1605. Garnet first said one thing, पहले उन्होंने कुछ कहा, फिर उन्होंने दूसरा कुछ कह दिया, and then another exactly opposite to it, although he had promised to speak the truth. The word has a veiled reference, critical comment. सब में मैंने critical comment use किया है. The word has a veiled reference to Macbeth, very important, who equivocates later in this scene. The equivocator awaiting his entry swore that he spoke the truth in both the scales of justice. This is the textual part. Betrayed his country for God's sake, that is, for the sake of his religion. The reference is once again to the gunpowder plot. Since he had played with words, he was sent to hell, not to heaven. Garnet was hanged. The porter imagines that he is admitting him to hell. Finally, the last question, referring closely to Act 2, Scene 3 of Macbeth, comment on Macbeth's lamentation over Duncan's death in the presence of Lennox. 100 to 150 words. 5 marks. This is again important. The short speech, Macbeth and Lennox re-enter. According to Macbeth, if he had died only an hour before the great mishap, here regicide, he would have been able to say that he had lived a blessed time. That portion, just open your book and check. Henceforth, there's nothing serious in mortality. Everything in this world is an illusion. Sab kuch maya, moh maya hi hai. Illusion or shadow. All is but toys. Renown and grace are no more. The cup of life has been emptied as it were of all its wine, and all that this can now boast of is worthless dregs. So learn from a good paraphrase and simply directly explain the speech. After that, the critical comment. If you are asked to comment, is comment word का क्या मतलब है? You will have to explain the meaning as well as critically analyze it. तो यहाँ पे what is the critical analysis? Macbeth is playing a part. वो एक role play कर रहे हैं and playing with consummate skill, बहुत skillfully and wonderful self-mastery. बहुत brilliantly he is pretending he is playing a part, a role. But his words are not all hypocrisy. So hypocritical तो है, मगर not all hypocrisy. पहले answers में मैंने ये mention किया था. He is filled with remorse, yet he is artificial. यहाँ पे मैंने वो घुमा दिया है. He is hypocritical, yes, but not all hypocrisy. क्यों? He is in the throes of remorse. Same point, same concept, but used differently. He feels in his heart, inwardly, that a glory has departed from his life. This lamentation is meant to deceive. वो यहाँ पे झूठ बोल रहे हैं, मगर कहीं ना कहीं वो क्या कर रहे हैं? He is uttering his profoundest, deepest feelings. Unfortunately, he has been transformed into a hardened criminal. The innocent Macbeth is gone. अब कोई फायदा नहीं है, वो अब वापस नहीं जा सकते हैं. अपना जो इनोसेंस है वो वापस नहीं ला सकते हैं. इसीलिए there is an inherent sadness, remorse, guilt. But since he has to cover up, since he has been transformed into a hardened criminal, he has to go forward. And this will ultimately lead to his downfall.